Welcome back to the Rantin Review Entertainment, and we're talking today about Moon Knight, given the fact that the show ended a little over a week ago, and there has been so much made about where Marvel is going. And I'm thinking about doing a video in the future about kind of the 3 or 4 pillars of Phase 4 that are currently going on in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but that should be for a future video. What I did want to talk about is my impressions of Moon Knight, and that Moon Knight has a weird position in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's definitely a different thing, and again, and I say this almost in every single Marvel video, it's kind of funny to me how people think all of Marvel movies are it's the same superhero formula over and over again. There are things that are formulaic about Marvel, absolutely, but they genre hop so much. And in Moon Knight, you're dealing with a story that's essentially which is such an interesting concept. Someone with multiple personality disorder, or however you want to phrase it these days, who is a superhero, which on its surface is a very interesting, intriguing, and deliciously complex concept to deal with that and see somebody who is one character at one moment and then another character at another moment, and then there's, as we found out at the end of Moon Knight in the season finale, a third character that's involved with this. The fact that an Egyptian god would go select someone with those issues to be their avatar, essentially a superhero. And it opened up a lot of doors. Now, as far as the series is concerned itself, it was kind of hit or miss for me. I really liked the first couple episodes. I liked the mystery involved, which seems to be the thing with the Marvel Disney Plus shows. I would definitely say that with Loki and WandaVision in particular are two of my favorite ones, that there was always this mystery. We didn't quite know where we were in the first couple episodes of the show, and that was part of the fun, is going, okay, this is weird. What is going on? What does this mean? Who's there? And then it was the same thing here with Moon Knight. What's up with the goldfish? Why is he tied to his bed? Why has he got sand around it? What is going on with all this stuff? Oscar Isaac, who is I believe a producer on the show, you can definitely see his hand in this. Oscar Isaac, for full disclosure, is one of my favorite actors because he's in one of my favorite all-time movies, Ex Machina, which if you haven't seen, I got to do a new review of Ex Machina on this channel. If you've never seen Ex Machina, it's probably one of the best sci-fi films of the 2010s. But the complexity of the characters that he was playing in this show, and yeah, the accents were a little hokey, but that's intentional because the guy's playing one person with multiple personalities, and that's what he thinks. And we found out later on, his accent, his British accent, was based off of a very commercialized British accent from a TV show or a movie that he watched as a young person. So his fractured personality state, going through these different parts where it doesn't remember how it got to where it was, and then Mark takes over. Oh, the idiot's back, and then, it was a fascinating watch. Some parts of it got a little bit too much. I think they tried to do a little bit too much in some of the middle episodes. Episode 5, I will agree with most people that says that's probably one of the best episodes of any Marvel Disney Plus show. The whole thing with him going into the afterlife and trying to decide between the two personalities, shifting back and forth between the mental hospital and whether or not it was real or not, had you questioning as the audience member whether or not he really was just crazy and was imagining all this stuff, or was this part of it, or is this part of the game, or who's doing this to him, and all of these things. There are a lot of questions asked within the Moon Knight series. Now, from what I understand of the comics, this is a bit of a departure. They've taken bits and pieces from different variations of the Moon Knight character over the years and kind of done this Disney Marvel Cinematic Universe version of it. The origin stories have changed several times in the comics, so they're kind of doing a hodgepodge of everything here. Overall, I liked the series. It wasn't the best one. I'd probably put it in the middle of the pack of the Marvel Disney Plus series right now. The highs are really high, the lows are really lows. But where does Moon Knight really fit? Because I think coming away from this, there's a big question like, okay, I get, the Eternals and Loki and Wanda and Doctor Strange are doing what they're doing, and then Falcon and Sam as the new Captain America, and the U.S. agent, and Hawkeye, and Kate Bishop. They're all doing their thing. But where does Moon Knight going to fit into all of this stuff? I mean, he's not a galactic character. He's not going to be out with the Guardians. He's not hanging out with Doctor Strange in the multiverse. He's not dealing with anything with the military or the governments like, you know, Hawkeye and Falcon and the Winter Soldier or Underground Crime or anything like that. He's dealing with something completely different, which is this war between these gods. Now, I do think that some more of that will be explained once we get to Thor, Love and Thunder, which there's going to be a heavy emphasis on the gods of the Marvel Universe in that, along with the celestial stuff. So I think all of that kind of ties in together. But how are they going to use Moon Knight? How is this going to all translate into the overall storyline of Phase 4? They've got so many, like I said before, there's so many pillars in Phase 4, and they're all on different separate worlds. They're going to have to come together and converge at some point in time. And even though the theory is that they're heading towards a Secret Wars mashup movie where they're putting all of these characters together, I'm still very curious as to how you're going to mix in this Egyptian god stuff with the space stuff, with the Eternal stuff, with the multiverse stuff, with the Armor Wars and the new Cap and Winter Soldier and Hawkeye, and how does this all come together? And we've got the Ms. Marvel show coming up. Now that's really dealing again back to the space stuff with Captain Marvel and Monica Rambeau from WandaVision. So again, trying to figure out how all this ties together, kind of hard, but we'll see. We know there's a plan. Kevin Feige said that they've got the next 10 years of Marvel pretty much planned out. So there is a plan on how this all comes together, and this is part of the fun of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and why it's lasted as long as it has. Is part of the fun of it is for people who are fans to figure out this puzzle of Marvel and how do all these pieces fit together. That's the fun. It's not, even despite, I was about to say it's not the best acted stuff. It's not award-winning acting like people like Martin Scorsese and so on and so forth will complain about Marvel. But then again, Wanda Maximoff, the Elizabeth Olsen's performance in WandaVision and in the Multiverse of Madness was pretty good. And Oscar Isaac here in Moon Knight, especially like I said, episode 5, to do what he did, those are some pretty serious acting chops to pull off what he did. So I don't know. We'll have to see. It's coming up pretty soon. We got more Marvel Studios shows. The next two things on the roster, again, like I mentioned, is Marvel, and we have Thor, Love and Thunder coming up pretty soon. So more pieces are going to be added to the puzzle. And again, this is the part of Marvel. This reminds me of like Phase 2, back when it was Iron Man 3 and Thor: The Dark World and Captain America, Winter Soldier, and Age of Ultron, where we kind of had an idea of where they were going, but we couldn't quite see how it all fit together. I think that's the phase that we're in now with this Phase 4 stuff, but they're just telling a very huge story that has so many ramifications. And again, where Moon Knight fits into all of this, however they're going to fit him in, whatever of these pillars they're going to fit him into, is that is an interesting character to throw in with anybody. I really want to see Moon Knight interact with some of the other people currently in the MCU, either the OG guys or some of the new people that they've introduced into it. But that's my thoughts on it. I want to know what you guys think about Moon Knight. Where do you rank Moon Knight? Where do you think it fits in with the rest of the stuff in Phase 4? And let your voice be heard in the comment box below. Until next time, I'll see you guys here as we continue to talk about movies, TV shows, entertainment of all types here on the Rantin Review Entertainment.